Do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of the Cold Call Battle. Uh, just in case you have missed the first episode, just a little background of what this Cold Call Battle is all about. We've got a couple of folks here who's been there, done that when it comes to cold calls, who's just mastered the art. And what we thought we'll make it a little even more interesting. How about making them go against each other live on a cold call battle? So that's what it's all about. We've got really good sales folks here who've done the cold calling themselves at some point in their careers and aced it. We've got Chet here, and he is the he's the director of sales development at Pavilion, and we've got Kevin who will be going against Chet. He's the host of the Sales Careers podcast. So the battle is going to be really interesting. And I'm Sandeep, head of sales at Outplay. Only thing that is constant when it comes to the cold call battle is the name of the host for the event. The previous one also Sandeep, and now it's Sandeep again. So well done. Let's start off with the rules of the game for the gentlemen we have here. Uh, so the rules are pretty simple. It's going to be 3 rounds where you're going to be going against each other. The third round I'll hold off for the time being. That's going to be the surprise element. But the first round, Chet or Kevin, you can start off with a cold call, and then you'll be pitching to the other person. You can choose a product of your own, and then you can start the cold calling. Just trying to make it a little easier for you guys to start off with. And the second round is where you will be. We'll be giving you the product. It will be mostly be outlay, and you'll have to pitch it for the other person. And the third round, I'm still not going to be revealing that for the time being, and then we'll get to that once we have done with the first 2 rounds. So those are the rules. So like I always mentioned, no under the belt knocks. Let's keep it clean, clean fight. So
Clean
off to you
fight.
guys. Go.
Sandeep, thank you for having us today. Thanks for inviting me. I'm the host of the Sales Career Podcast. I also run Hopp Consulting Group. So I work with companies that are looking to go from 0 to 1, start doing outbound sales, developing sales development. I work with existing sales development teams to help them get really good at what I call talking the talk. So for all those out there that don't know me, my name is Kevin Hopp. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Follow me. Let's get connected there. I have made probably at this point like 600,000 cold calls in my life, like a lot. I spent the entire year of like the end of 2018 to the end of 2019 as a cold calling consultant, where all I did was call 5 hours a day. I made a lot of money doing that. There's actually a lot of money in it if you're good at cold calling, but I have a ton of experience in cold calling. Really excited for this event today. And I want to introduce Chet. Why don't you tell everybody, who are you? What are your credentials? Why are we here? What are we gonna learn?
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, we're going Michael Jordan flu game here. I've been sick for the last 3 days. My entire household is sick, but we're ready to rock it. I'm kind of like the adverse of Kevin. I always say cold calling is dead, right? Like I'm the guy that's out here preaching that. Just kidding. Only the people that are bad at cold calling say cold calling is dead. I'm a firm believer that it still works. So I'm excited to be here. I'm the director of sales development at Pavilion, which is a career enablement platform designed to helping people unlock their professional potential through training, skill certification, one-on-one mentorship, and community-powered learning. And then I also have the Sales RX podcast where we talk about a lot of top-of-funnel activity, prospect conversion, engagement, objection handling, cold calling, cold outreach, all those sorts of things. And then I do some career coaching through the Sales Doctor as well. And man, I'm ready for Kevin to kick my butt. Like I'll take the shots below the belt. It's okay. We're ready to rock. Let's go a little UFC here. Let's go a little UFC as opposed to some heavyweight boxing. What do you say, Kevin?
Definitely, that's quite an impressive record you guys both have there. But quick question: this series is done as a learning for a lot of people who are watching us live today. In that interest, before I let you guys go against each other, can I ask you a question? How was it when you do you guys remember the first call that you ever made, the first cold call that you ever made? Were you guys nervous about it? Because I'm sure there are a lot of SDRs, BDRs there in the market who are trying to make their first cold call. How did you get over those nervous moments? Were you thinking of, oh, is there going to be a rejection there? And what are the thoughts that went through in your mind?
I'll start out. So the first cold call I made was at my first job, which was in 2014. Not to date myself here. It's been a while since I made my first cold call. The first cold call I ever made, I want to say I crushed it because I was working at a small real estate tech company, like really small, like me and the founder was the entire company. And we were calling realtors. Now, anyone listening that's ever sold to realtors, like residential real estate agents, number one, they're kind of hard to sell to because they're all independent contractors. They don't have reliable income, so they don't really buy a lot of stuff. The top dogs do most of the buying and the brokerage houses do most of the buying. But I say all this just to say that with real estate agents, you can find their cell phone really easily. Like their cell phone numbers are everywhere. They're like, oh, call me, you know? So when you do call them, they are receptive. They take calls unannounced, right? So I didn't get jammed on. It wasn't like this scary experience. I don't think I converted, but in that first sales job, I did something which I think most salespeople should try to do at some point in their sales career, which is collect money over the phone. It's like the modern day equivalent of going door to door and getting someone to like fill out a purchase order, right? If you can get someone that you've never met to like talk to them on the phone and they take out their credit card and start reading you the numbers, that's about as raw of sales experience as you're going to get. And I had that right out the gate in my sales career in 2014. So there is no easy way to get your first cold call out the gate. I think the number one thing to remember if you're gonna go start making cold calls and like start this whole journey of sales is you are the problem. You're an interruption. So understand that. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and say, okay, what would I want to hear that would make good logical business sense? But don't take it personally when they hang up on you or they slam on you or they're rude to you because you're an interruption. But guess what? You're not an interruption to everybody. Some people are genuinely going to be happy you called. You're going to solve a business challenge for them. And guess what? You're going to make a lot of money for doing that. So that's kind of like the art and science of cold calling. That's why I'm obsessed with it. Chet, what about you? What was it like when you made your first cold calls?
So first call closed. Love it, Kevin. And I totally agree. It's why actually I'm hesitant about SDRs that haven't done business to consumer sales first, because consumer sales is like the most rejection you'll face. And at least in B2B, sometimes people are a little bit more formal and courteous. But like you said, get somebody to fill out a purchase order door to door, man, dude, that is the tough stuff. People talk about the first cold call. They also talk about, hey, you remember the first time you got hung up on or the first time you had to hang up on a cold call? Well, those are the same for me, but I didn't get hung up on. I hung up on the other person because the first cold call I ever made was with zero training. And the person picked up the phone and said, hello. And I said, I'm sorry. And then I just hung up the phone. I didn't know what to say. So
yes, I love that.
That was my first experience. Both my first hang up on cold calling and my first cold call were a combined experience. So I love it. I love it. I embrace that was where I was one time. I was so just absolutely terrified of even saying hello to someone on the other end of the phone that now I am where I'm at right now, talking to a couple hundred people with some great cold call gurus here, doing some live cold call battling or some hypothetical, not necessarily live, but some hypothetical cold call battling, because it shows the journey and it shows, the trajectory of what can be accomplished. I'll leave that little anecdote with this statement that, Zig Ziglar, one of the greatest sales trainers of all time, said, anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. So just get started. You just got to go do it. You got to go fail. You got to go learn. You got to get around people that do it well. Go to things like this, attend this outplay, cold call sessions, right? Learn. You're a sponge unless you're a pro and you know exactly what you're doing. Even then you can still learn, right? Even the best of the best still learn. Kevin and I are still learning. We still learn all the time. We know what we're doing, but we still learn all the time. You're never done learning.
I'm going to learn something today. I can't wait to learn something from Chet, to be honest.
Wonderful. Those are really, really good insights. And for someone who's just starting off in their career, SDR or BDR, this is really good, man. Like they have to just overcome that fear, and rejection is not a bad thing at all. All right, let's get into today's cold call battle. The first round, who wants to go first? Who wants to be the caller and who wants to be the prospect?
I'm calling. I was born ready for this. I would love to call somebody right now. Let's do it.
All right. So you got Chet, who will be your prospect. So Kevin, off to you, man.
Okay. So before I make the call, it's a VP of sales. Okay. It's a VP of sales, which is an actual title that I sell to people that sign my purchase orders. He's a VP of sales at a company that just raised capital, and he does not have an outbound sales team. So this is where Hopp Consulting Group thrives, is helping really busy sales leaders that are trying to build real sales structure, process, deal management, deal flow, all that kind of stuff. They don't have the time or might lack the expertise, quite frankly, to build an outbound sales team and to start that motion from 0 to 1. Or they had existed on, founder-driven sales or whatever, whatever the circumstance might be. They don't have an outbound team today. Or if they have an outbound team, their team is not making cold calls today. So I think that's kind of where we're going to start it. Does that work for you? Can you be that person for me, Chet?
I think I can do it.
Okay, cool.
That's a pinky promise.
I love it. Let's get into it. You ready? I'm gonna go ring, 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 and then Chet, you pick up when you're ready. Okay.
Love it. Let's rock it.
Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hey, Chet. How's it going? Kevin with Hopp Consulting Group.
What's going on, Kevin? What can I do for you, man?
Hey, I know I'm a bit of an interruption here, Chet, calling unannounced. Do you have 30 seconds? I'll tell you exactly why I called.
Yeah, 30 seconds. What's going on, man?
Love it. Thank you. So, Chet, when I speak with sales leaders like yourself, they generally mention that their outbound sales team tends to avoid picking up the phone on a consistent basis. And when they do get on the phone, they don't really convert their conversations at a high rate to meetings. Chet, does that situation kind of resonate with you? Is that anything that your team is facing today?
Sometimes. I mean, I think we do a pretty good job. I'd like to think that my process is pretty good, but there's always room for improvement.
Right on. So when you mention room for improvement, one of the things that I look at that when I talk to sales leaders like yourself, like one of the benchmarks they try to get is to convert over 5% of their cold conversations to meetings. Do you know what that ratio is for your team?
It's probably somewhere in my data, but I don't have it handy. It's not top of mind.
Huh. Interesting. Well, Chet, I guess the reason for my call today isn't to have an ambush conversation to talk numbers, but rather, maybe it might make sense for us to have a high-level discussion about this later this week. Hopp Consulting Group, I exist to help guys like you build process, structure, and strategy and really know their outbound numbers so that they can build a really reliable top-of-funnel function. Chet, how does Thursday afternoon at, let's say 1 p.m. work for you?
Oh man, I'm going on vacation on Thursday. I'm going to be out until next Monday. But Kevin, this is really interesting. If you want to send me some information, I'd love to call you back when something like this comes up as a priority for us in our next quarter or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Chet, one of the things I could do here, I could send you that email. I will for sure follow up, and let's not try to rush anything before your holiday here. But my inbox is actually overflowing. I can't imagine what your inbox looks like. It's got to have, 200, 300 emails in it. Chet, why don't we schedule some time just to connect when you get back from your vacation? Would next maybe Wednesday work for you, 12 noon?
Yeah. I mean, why don't you send me something tentative for like the following Thursday? Give me some time to get back in the seat when I get back on Tuesday. So how about like next Thursday? Typically before noon works better for me.
Okay, sounds good. And your Pacific time?
That's right. So yeah, just shoot me something over and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Awesome. Chet, I'm going to do 2 things here. Check that. I'm going to do 3 things really quickly. It's chet@pavilion.com. Is that your email address, right?
Yes.
Fantastic. I'm going to send you an email. In it is going to be a video of a VP of sales just like yourself talking about what it was like to work with me. I'm also going to add you on LinkedIn so we can stay connected. And then third, of course, I'm going to send you that calendar invite for next Thursday. Looking forward to the discussion. Go ahead and reply back to that email if anything changes for you. Have a great rest of your day. And hey, have a great holiday, Chet.
You too, Kevin. Thanks, man.
Cheers. Boom.
Whoa.
Boom.
That's going to be hard to beat. That's going to be really hard to beat, Kevin. Chet, are you up for the challenge?
Yeah, I love a good challenge. I'm up for it. I told Kevin be as tough as possible.
He's thrown something at you that's real heavy, man. That's like really good call. So you have to ace that now. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's critique that. Let's break that down a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Like, what do you think, Chet?
We're gonna have that. we're gonna discuss that once Chet has done his call as well.
They want
Oh, is
both
that all right
sample
after?
sizes. Both sample sizes, Kevin. Give me a fair shot before we have any
Okay.
unconscious bias. Let's measure here. Let's measure
Okay.
here.
Let's do it. Who am I? Chet?
Cool. All right. So Kevin, so since Pavilion typically sells to sales leaders, I mean, we have a product for the entire go-to-market team, but our primary buyer is the VP of sales. Similar situation, you're gonna be a VP of sales, Series A company. Let's call it like 100 plus employees, probably around 30 seats on your go-to-market team. That could be between sales, CS, and marketing as well, but primarily focused on sales, right? You're focused on high growth companies growing month over month. And we're like a training and development solution for teams to outsource essentially their sales enablement aside from like marketing collateral. We don't create marketing collateral, but we can help train and enable their reps as well as their frontline managers and execs. So I'm going to be reaching out to you. That's kind of your background. Series A, VP sales, been in the seat for about a year, continually building upon the team, hiring some AEs and SDRs. You know, you're in whatever industry that's recession proof because you're growing right now, even though there's a recession, right? So that's the ideal context of a prospect.
B2B technology, man. B2B tech. We are recession proof if you're in B2B tech.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. All right. So I'm gonna start off with a ring and then we'll hop into it. All pun intended.
All righty.
All right. Ring.
Hello?
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, who is this?
Yeah, this is Chet from Pavilion, formerly Revenue Collective. Does my company name sound familiar?
Collective something. Chet, have we met before? I don't know you.
You know, we haven't had the opportunity to formally meet, but I sent over some information earlier this week introducing myself and my company with some resources as it pertains to the career enablement landscape. Kevin, I had one quick question for you. I was interested to learn, since you're hiring AEs and SDRs right now and you've been growing in headcount over the last 6 months by 38%. I was interested to learn how you're currently enabling your sales reps with career support and training after onboarding.
Oh, first things first, I didn't get your materials. I didn't see anything that came through, but I got a lot of stuff that comes through my inbox. You know how it is. I probably hit spam or junk on 98% of what comes into my inbox. So Chet, why don't we do this? Can you just send that back over? And I hope it gets through the spam filter this time. And I got to run here.
Yeah, I know I called you out of the blue. I wasn't expecting to have a full conversation right now. So that I know that the material that I'm sending you is relevant. What is top of mind? What's being talked about in your executive meetings around your hiring of your new AEs and SDRs? What's top of mind for you as you hire those AEs and SDRs in terms of getting them scaled and onboarded quickly?
Yeah, I think one of the things we need to do is with this new infusion of capital, we've got a number to hit, and I've got to hire a lot of people in a short period of time. So if you can send me some information on the recruiting service that you guys have, we are looking for placement. It's contingency only though. So yeah, I'll forward that to our HR director, and you can get with her, and then we'd love to talk to candidates if you have really high quality candidates. Thanks for the recruiting call, Chet. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I apologize if I probably didn't do a great job of explaining our value prop. We actually don't have a recruiting service. We offer training enablement and skill development for reps outside of onboarding. So typically, right, in most situations, an AE gets onboarded, and then all of a sudden, what's next, right? You're just telling them hey, this is the new process for updating the CRM. Hey, this is the new way that we're going to talk about this feature that we're going to market with. Hey, this is the new process for forecasting. But very rarely do you get to sit on a call and go, hey, this is the framework for effective discovery. Hey, the reason that you're getting ghosted a lot and your win rates after you send out proposal is 20% less than the next.
Hey, Chet, I appreciate all this. I got to run. I was going in between meetings here. Like, sorry, I just don't have a lot of time to talk right now. So if I hear you correctly, like, you guys do training, but you don't do recruiting. So I guess send over some information about what you got, and let's reconnect another time. I got to go.
Yeah, sounds totally good. Real quick before I let you go, let me ask you one more question with the next 20 seconds before you hop to that next meeting. Sounds like recruiting is the thing that you're struggling with right now, right? It seems like that's top of mind. So if I could find a way to help you recruit, we would probably have a conversation, correct?
Yeah, that is the number one problem that I have right now, Chet.
Perfect. One of the key things that we find when it comes to attaining and retaining top talent, aside from offering a good salary and something in terms of variable comp, is having a professional development and training solution in place for your reps to show that you actually care about them. If I could show you why companies have outperformed their competitors by 202%, would that make sense for us to chat for 15 minutes next Tuesday at 10?
Yeah, I guess I'm still trying to wrap my brain around kind of how you guys do training. Send over that email. I got to run, Chet. Have a great day.
Good. Sounds good. I'll send the email over to you, Kevin. Thanks for your time.
All right. Thanks for the call. Bye.
Oh, that was rough. Chet, he went hard on you, man. Come on.
Yeah,
he went
that's
really
all
hard
good.
on you.
Look, the reality is, if after all that he's still being a dingus and doesn't want to take the call, am I really going to waste my time? I'd rather do that than not set a tentative appointment and then try to follow up with him via email. But didn't get the appointment, so it's all right. But sometimes you got to cut your losses, and Kevin just wasn't going to budge, man. He was really in between meetings. A lot of meetings happening at 9:55 a.m. Pacific, Kevin. Yeah, of course he's running to a meeting, right? A lot of people running to meetings at the 55-minute mark.
Dude, it could be, look, a lot of people pick up the phone while they're very busy.
Oh, no, 100%.
Always mystify me how executives
100%
pick up the phone while they're busy. Guys,
Yeah.
I just got,
Right.
look at my phone. I just got missed like 2 calls, but I'm busy, so I don't pick up the phone.
Exactly.
How easy is that?
Yeah.
How simple is that? Everybody watching out there who picks up their phone and says, "Yeah, hold on, this is really important. Hello, who is this? Oh, I can't talk right now. I'm busy. Why'd you pick up the phone?" Sorry.
All right.
I get heated about this kind of stuff. Dude,
hey Kevin, you know what? Kevin,
but
I'm in a board meeting right now. Let me call you back. Oh yeah. A lot of executives leaving their board meetings when they just got Series A funding to go take a cold call from a number they don't know. Yeah. We're not that gullible.
So guys, we need to give feedback to each other now. Yeah. So
let's do it.
Chet, Kevin went first. So what did you think that went well with Kevin's call? Or my perspective, I think he had a really nice opening and he was courteous enough to ask you for a time. So what's your perspective on Kevin's call?
I think Kevin had great tone. I think he did a great job. I love storytelling, so he did a great job with action by association. Most sales leaders in your position go through this. I think that's something I probably could have drawn a little bit better. I drew it more from a rep perspective. Most AEs, when they onboard, they do this, this, and this. But I love that you have to draw that action by association to tell them what the hell you're talking about. So I think he was great with his tone. He had great energy. Kevin and I always have these conversations outside of, work about permission-based openers. So he knows that's not my favorite thing. But he did a great job, like just being upfront with asking for my time and then applying that action by association. Hey, I work with a lot of people that typically go through this. This is what I notice is their relevancy here. So he did a great job doing that action by association.
But what could have gone better? What do you think could have gone better in Kevin's call?
I didn't really I gave him a meeting, but it was kind of tentative, right? I'm like, yeah, send me something and we'll see if it happens. Like, I don't think, Jim Rohn says, don't mistake movement for achievement. Don't mistake courtesy for consent. And especially when you're selling to sales leaders, it's funny, as rigid as we are, they have a hard time just saying no. It's kind of like the girl who always wants to be chased, right? She won't tell the best friend no, but he's always the best friend in the back pocket because maybe someday, right? So like, hey, we're great with our solution, but maybe someday I don't want to completely close the door because I think sales leaders think that magically, if they tell us no, we'll never contact them again, which is total BS, right? We're going to contact them again in 90 days at least. So it's like, hey, be more formal with telling me no. So I don't think he did like a great job of really tying down the appointment or the reason for meeting for the appointment. There are ways to handle that. But I was also being a tough nut to crack there and just really wasn't giving him the time. So in all fairness, I think he did as great of a job as he could.
Fair feedback. So Kevin, what did you think about Chet's call? What went well? What went wrong?
Yeah, I liked that Chet didn't use permission-based opener and kind of went right into it. Like, I really appreciate Chet's perspective, like, on the whole thing. Like, Chet and I disagree about this, but at the same time, like, I'm never going to say that my way or the highway. Like, I thought it was a pretty smooth intro. Like, I liked it. I was actually trying to portray how confused I was. Because, like, the pitch for what Pavilion is and, like, what specifically the value is to me at that time, like to a VP of sales who really has a scatterbrain and is thinking about like what they need to accomplish to get to this quarter's, like, because if you're an early stage VP of sales that just took on capital like those early board meetings quarter to quarter are gnarly. They're gnarly, right? Like you have 1 or 2 or 3 things the board's like, you have to do this. And we all know that the tenure of a VP of sales is like a year and a half most of the time because it's really hard to hit those things. Mm-hmm. So one of the things I think you could have done a little bit better was the pitch was broad and you didn't narrow down like what was super important to me. And we kind of got to that at the end because I just took the recruiting part of what you said and said that was my priority. And then I did the false association thing, like associated you with something that you're not, right? So I thought you did really good, but lot of talking for a cold call too, a lot of dialogue. Like you kept trying to re-explain things. So overall, I thought it was pretty good.
All right. So folks who are watching this live, vote for your whom you think is the best cold caller now. Is it Kevin or Chet? Put it in the comment section, and then we'll come out with a winner by end of the day. All right. So we are leveling up one step ahead now. So we've given you familiar territory. We've given you the product that you wanted to choose. Now we'll give you the product, which is going to be Outplay, and then you're going to start pitching that to each other. So last time Kevin went first. So Chet, why don't you start off this time? This is round 2.
Wow, back to back, man. Put me on the spot. No snake. It's not like the NFL draft. It doesn't go in the same cycle. We're doing it the other way. Okay.
Look, I can go first.
This time,
No,
if at all he's too hard on you, then you get to come back on him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna come back even harder on him this time. See, I went easy on Kevin, so now I'm gonna make life living hell for Kevin. So.
Oh well, let's do one that's super realistic. You ready? You ready for a super realistic one?
Super realistic. Okay, pick up the phone. What's the customer Outplay's been chasing? I'll give him a call. Let's go. What's the top prospect? Give it to me.
It's all the same, right? Like I'm pretty sure I'm going to be a VP of sales, right? Early stage VP of sales. Like Outplay wants that guy too to sell him Outplay. So I'll be that early stage VP of sales. Just got out of my Uber to my downtown office, walking up to the espresso shop, and my phone starts ringing.
All right, ready to rock? Here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello, Kevin dear.
Kevin, happy Wednesday.
Hey, who is this?
Yeah, this is Chet. I'm calling from Outplay.
Can I get that venti, please? Venti? Yeah, what was that? Is this Chet? Chet? You said Chet? What's your name, Chet?
Yeah, this is Chet calling from Outplay. No, you don't know me.
Thank you. Can I get double cup on that too as well? Hey, Chet, can you send me an email? I'm in line at Starbucks here.
Kevin, sounds like you're pretty busy right now. Is your email Kevin at hoppconsulting.com?
The blueberry muffin? Yeah, Chet, why don't you send an email? Thanks, man. Bye-bye.
Sounds good. All right, Kevin. And that's how most cold calls go, right? Cut your losses again. You think I'm gonna play with that BS? No, I'm good, bro. Like I'm not gonna sit here and beat myself to a pulp over someone who can't even give me the time of day. No, I'm good.
That was perfect, Chet.
I
was hoping you wouldn't take the bait and push them out.
I'm good.
You did not.
No, bro, I'm good.
For everybody out there, that is how legitimately 60 to 70% of your calls will go.
And that's why most reps fail. Because they will push. They will push. You got more. Go make 30 more calls. Who cares? People make 30 calls and whine about making 30 calls because they get 10 that are like that. And they're like, well, I hit my number. Well, you didn't hit your number. How many actual conversations did you have? Because I don't count that as anything. That's bubkus, right? Like on to the next, man. Now I got to go make 10 calls to make up for that guy. That's not a connection. We're not considering that a connection. And you're totally right. That is 60 to 75% of your cold calls is going to be just like that. You're not going to have any room to move.
That's right.
All right, Kevin, when you played that part, I was not sure if you had in your mind that Chet is going to be coming back at you hard. So it's your turn, man.
My turn. Let's go. You ready, Chet? You're a VP of sales. I'm a director of sales at Outplay. I'm trying to call you. Are you ready to rock?
Oh, I'm always ready to rock, man.
Okay, cool. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello?
Hey, Chet, how's it going? Kevin with Outplay here.
Who?
Yeah, my name is Kevin Hopp. I'm with a company called Outplay. I know I'm an interruption. Did I catch you with 30 seconds to have a conversation, Chet?
No, I don't really have 30 seconds right now, but yeah, give me a call back
in
like an hour.
Yeah, no worries. Adios.
Easy peasy.
All right. So now we got that out of the way. Once again, everybody listening, that's how real cold calls go. Okay. That will happen to you a lot. All right. Now let's imagine that Chet has a minute. You want to do that one, Chet?
Yeah.
You ready? Ready? Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hey, Kevin with Outplay here. Chet, how you doing?
Doing all right, Kevin. What can I help you with?
Well, look, I know I'm a bit of an interruption calling out of the blue. Not sure if you ever heard of Outplay, my company. Do you have 30 seconds? I'll describe exactly why I called you.
Yeah, man, I got a minute. Go ahead.
Love that. Love that. Well, Chet, we work with early stage companies, mostly technology companies that are focused on optimizing their sales reps' time during the day.
Kevin, sorry to cut you off, man.
What
Can this sounds like a sales pitch? Can you just like send it over to me in an email, whatever you're talking about, and I'll get back to you?
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to send you an email. I was hoping to have a conversation, Chet. You mentioned that you had a minute. Do you have a minute to have a business level conversation about kind of what your sales team's up to today, or no conversation right now?
Well, we all know that a business level conversation is a little longer than a minute. I'm happy to hear out what you're doing. If you want to send me like your website and like a product one pager, but yeah, I got a pretty busy day ahead of me and I got to run to a meeting.
Hey, Chet, you're totally right. Business level conversations take more than a minute. How about we put 15 minutes on the calendar tomorrow? Does 2 p.m. work for you, Chet?
Yeah. Well, if you want to send me some materials, maybe we could chat like early next week. But I'd like to look over something first and have something in hand so I know what we're kind of walking into the call.
Of course. I will send you some materials. Our marketing team is top notch. Chet, before I go, do you mind if I just tell you in one sentence what we do, and you can tell me whether or not it makes any sense for us to talk next week?
Yeah, go ahead.
Awesome. Outplay works with high growth sales teams to help them automate most of their mundane tasks and get back extremely valuable time in their day. Does your team today have a solution to automate their workflow for outreach?
No, they do not. So that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
Like I said, if you want to send something over,
yeah,
to me,
this is going to be Chet.
Chet,
I promise you, this is going to be a really valuable conversation. I'm going to send you this email. Check it out, and then I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to ring this number. This number works. This is in your pocket most of the time.
Yeah, this should be good.
Awesome, Chet. I'll talk to you later. Look out for the email. Bye.
Whoa.
There we go.
All right. So Chad, do you want to go first? Tell us what you liked about Kevin's call, or what went wrong, or whatever your feedback is.
Well, I think I'm still owed a do-over for an actual minute call to actually get me past that objection with that jerk off Starbucks guy, but all good. I'll take the losses as they come. I'll take them in lump. I'll take my lumps.
I think you won. You win. Like
no.
You did the perfect thing for the scenario on the call. Not every call is like a meeting. Like you have to look at it for a win is a win. Like I think your reaction to my call is better than my reaction just now to yours.
You know what they say about the Goldilocks rule, right? Like people experience peak motivation when the brink of their abilities are pushed. So it's almost like states that like failure is like aspirin, right? Take too much and you get burnt out and you die. Take too little and you don't solve your problem. So you got to find that right middle ground. So it's like, I'm okay with failure. Like take it once in a while. That's why I always say like cut your losses sometimes. Like you know, when you got something, I'm not going to waste 15 minutes in my psyche building on negative momentum from someone who's just going to be a total jerk. I'm going to move on to someone who might be like, oh, wow, that's actually really interesting. What are you talking about? But back to Kevin's call. I think persistence is good. I think locking down, like what's that one key thing, or do you have something like this already? Just to understand if I'm even in that, like, this is a nice to have, right? Not everybody has something like what Outplay offers. It's like Pavilion. Not everybody has like sales training and professional development and career support built into their company's enablement function. Not everybody has that. It's kind of a nice to have. Similar with Outplay, like this is not like a standard product that everybody has. It's a new thing that people are trying to add to increase efficiency, right? It's not like a standard thing that every company has. So it's nice that you kind of called out that one thing.
I'd argue the opposite, that sales acceleration in 2022 is a must-have.
It's
a
not a
must
nice to have
have
anymore.
if you don't
It's-
have.
of course.
I don't work with companies that aren't investing in sales acceleration. Like there's
Of
no,
course,
there's no way.
but it's a must have in that you can prove the ROI. But most companies you talk to probably don't already have something like that. It's not like a CRM or a dialer, right? Like it's not like Zoom or GoToMeeting, like a video conferencing platform. That's what I'm getting at. Is it's like not a standard business tool that every company has. You'd be surprised working at Pavilion, talking to B2B SaaS leaders all day long in sales. You'd be surprised how many people don't have a version of this, right? Like they just don't have it. So it's there's definitely a need for it, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like something that's like a staple of your holy trinity of tech stack that everybody has. So you did a good job of calling out like, hey, do you even have something like this? Because then you know if you're trying to rip and replace or if you're trying to demonstrate the value from scratch. And I think that's a really important thing in sales when you're cold calling is to understand like if you're not working in a product that is like a staple of what everybody uses, like if you're doing it like VoIP sales or CRM sales or something like that, a little different, right? It's mostly rip and replace. But if you're not, you need to understand, is it a rip and replace or am I going to have to prove the value from scratch? And I think that helps you design what email you're actually going to craft to actually see if this person is going to be compelled to have that call. But then saying, hey, would you be opposed to taking time to chat about this after I send that email so we can have a business conversation? Still agreeing to send the email, but still trying to accomplish your goal, which is setting some time to chat, I think was great. So Kevin did a great job of that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But I still say that Outplay is a must-have and not a nice-to-have anymore. I'm siding with Kevin this time. All right, Kevin.
Yeah. Again, I think you still missed the point. Of course, it's a must-have. Pavilion's a must-have, but not every B2B SaaS company is using it. But I'll tell you, if you're not doing training and development and outsourcing for your people,
I'm just playing the safe guy here.
Yeah. Of course, it's a must-have. Everybody's product is a must-have, right? That's how we like to think of it. But it's just not. It's not a core offering that everybody has in their tech stack today. If you went out and talked to 10 people, I guarantee you that maybe a little less than half would have something similar.
I think you're wrong, Chet. I think if you talk to the targets that Outplay is targeting, the people all of B2B sales, for sure, it's a nice to have. We talk about high growth, venture backed companies. I think if you talk to 10 of them, 8.5 of them have a solution like Outplay.
Bet you $100. Bet you $100. Let's do
it.
What? Let's take it to the masses. Here we go.
We should do that. This is
a market research. Let's go through Pavilion's database, do some market research.
Yeah, but it's got to be specific to the market of like what. Yeah. All right. Let's go.
All right, guys. That's done with round 2. So people watching this, start voting for your favorite cold caller. With that, we'll get into round 3. But if you have any questions at all for Kevin or Chet, start posting them and we'll have them answered with regards to cold call, with regards to how to approach certain prospects, anything that has to do with a BDR or SDR role that you guys do on a day-to-day basis. So feel free to post those questions. We'll have it answered by Kevin or Chet. All right, now that's the interesting part. We're getting to the third round. We're going to put you in even more untested waters for you guys. You guys know each other for quite some time, so it must have been familiar calling each other and talking to each other. This time, the pitch is not going to be against each of you. It's going to be to me. So each one of you will be calling me and trying to pitch Outplay. So are you guys ready for that?
Sure.
All right.
It looks like in the chat, Kevin should go first. I'm nominating Kevin because it looks like he's dominating me in the chat here. So Kevin, you get to show and prove with an unbiased source here. So I'm gonna nominate you to go first.
Love it. I was born ready.
All right. So here's the situation. I'm a VP of sales of a SaaS company. I don't know anything about Outplay. We've just got Series A funding, and yeah, that's the scenario. Go for it.
Okay, cool. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Hey, Sandeep, how's it going? Kevin with Outplay here.
Hey, Kevin. Outplay, not too familiar with this.
Yeah, look, I know I'm calling out of the blue here. Sandeep, did I catch you with 30 seconds to have a conversation real quick, or is now not a good time?
Not sure. We can have that conversation, but what is Outplay all about?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get right to it. So I'm with a company called Outplay. We work with high growth sales organizations to help make their sales people's day-to-day tasks and day-to-day functions of their sales team hyper efficient. Now, Sandeep, let me ask you a quick question. What sales acceleration platform are you guys using today?
We don't use any, but it sounds similar to something like a
Wow.
CRM. Is that a CRM that you're talking about? That means
No,
we
no,
already have a
Sandeep.
CRM.
Believe it or not, Sandeep, when I talk to the folks like yourself and they say that they are not using a sales acceleration platform, I'm kind of shocked, right? I don't know. Have you ever heard of sales acceleration technology? The ability to put multiple actions towards a prospect in one sequence and have it all run autonomously. Is this anything you're familiar with, or am I bringing you into the 2022 here?
I don't know, man. I've heard of all of this, but I don't know if it add any value to us. We're a small team. We're what 20 sales folks, and I don't know if we would need a product like this.
Okay. So let's qualify that right away, Sandeep. You mentioned you have a CRM. How do your sales reps today track exactly how they're reaching out to their prospects across multiple channels? What one place is helping them do that and automating some of those tasks for them? I'm guessing there is none. There is nothing like that.
Yeah, we kind of do it in a not very organized way today. So I don't know. So we'll have to revisit that. But Kevin, you know what? The conversation sounds interesting, but I want to know more about it. But right now, I don't have too much of time to have this conversation. So let's keep this for another day. But it sounds interesting.
Of course, Sandeep. Let's keep it for another day. When I hear VPs of sales say what you just said, where you have a little bit of disorganization there, I'm sure you could agree that if you found a solution similar to Outplay, it would maximize your efficiency day to day, which maximizes revenue. Sandeep, let's not have this conversation right now. To your point, how does next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific work for you? We'll have a high-level discussion about what Outplay does, how we work with customers like you, and we'll look at your workflow to see if there's any ways that we could help you get more revenue in less time. Does that work for you, Sandeep?
Sure, Kevin. That works for me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is it sandeep@outplay.com? Is that your email address?
Yep, that's my email address.
All right. I'm going to send you a calendar invite. I'm also going to send you an email introduction to my counterpart who's going to be on the meeting with me. Also going to add you on LinkedIn. Are you big on LinkedIn, Sandeep?
Yeah, I am. I am quite active on LinkedIn.
Awesome. I'm going to add you there. We'll be connected. If you need anything before our meeting, let me know. But I'm looking forward to that meeting next Tuesday. Have a great rest of your day.
Sure. Thanks for that, Kevin. Talk to you
Cheers.
soon.
There we
I
go.
think I went easy on you. I think I really easy on you. Yeah.
Wow.
So
why couldn't that have been my first call? Jeez Louise. Here we go. Where am I going to take? I'm going to close you on Outplay right now. I'm going to get the deal signed. Contract
Put
out.
the ball on the tee.
All right, Chet. The
baby.
situation is the same for you as well. VP of Sales, Series A funded company and SaaS company. So go for it.
Awesome. All right. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, happy Wednesday.
Hi. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, Sandeep, this is Chet calling from Outplay. Does my company name sound familiar?
Not really, Chet. What is this about?
So, hey, the reason for my call is I'm following up on some information I sent you earlier this week about sales acceleration and the ROI for high growth teams like yourself. Essentially, Outplay helps organize sales teams' outreach, the end result essentially being that reps book meetings faster. I was curious what you're using right now as a sales acceleration tool in your company.
I'm sorry, Chet. I don't remember getting anything from you as an email, so I'm not too sure. I don't have a background of what you're talking about.
That's all good. Yeah, we're talking about sales acceleration tools. So do you have anything in place right now to help your reps better organize their sales activity, save them time, and make their entire outreach process more efficient to help them lead to booking more meetings quicker?
We do have a CRM in place, and that kind of does the work for us right now. So I don't know if a platform like this would add value to us.
100%.
But it kind of sounds very similar to what our CRM does today for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, and there's a lot of functionality you can get out of a CRM, Sandeep, that's similar to what we do while also being completely different and not even the same at all. So we actually love working with people that aren't familiar with our product, because once they see the value that it has to offer, they're typically wondering like, hey, how did it take me so long to learn about this? What I would love to do is I would love to see if you're interested in learning more and potentially put 15 minutes on your calendar, either tomorrow or Friday, to learn a little bit more about how we've helped companies like you in a similar position increase their sales activities and save time and money on our product.
Chet, quick question here. Is your product something that will replace a CRM?
No, it would be in addition to the CRM. We like people to extensively use it in coordination with the CRM because, as you know, reps spend a lot of time manually updating their activity, trying to personalize their outreach at scale. We also have native integrations with several different CRMs, pretty much, the main three. And I think there's going to be a great fit there for you. Do you have 15 minutes either tomorrow at 10 or Friday at 9?
Friday works better, Chet, but if at all you had mentioned that you're going to replace our CRM, I would have said not interested. I'm going to put the phone down on you. So fair enough. Friday works better for me. So let's lock it in.
Yeah, we prefer to work in tandem with your CRM, and we'll be able to better demonstrate that on that call. So I have your email as sandeep@sandeep.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's my email address.
All right, awesome. Sandeep, I'll send over a calendar invite with that information I sent previously as well. So you have that walking into the call. Any reason that you wouldn't be able to make that call at 9 a.m. on Friday, Sandeep?
Not really. I might have something come up, but I should be able to make it. As of now, there's nothing on my calendar, so it should be good to go.
Got it. Would you be opposed to me asking what might potentially come up?
I don't know, man. It's a month end, so I'm a sales lead, so there could be something that, So just
totally understand.
Maybe if not on Friday, can we do it a little later once the month end is done? Would that be all right?
Yeah, let's do this. I don't typically like booking meetings a full business week out, but I understand that we're coming to month end. We got a holiday the following Monday. I don't want to be an inconvenience to you, and I want to make sure that this call makes sense and we have the time appropriate. How about next Wednesday at 9 a.m. or Thursday at 9 a.m.? Would that work better? Which one do you prefer?
Thursday works better.
Okay, so Thursday the 2nd at 9 a.m. we'll be able to make the call. We got nothing keeping us from making that call. No month-end crazies, no holiday. Fantastic. Let's do it at a time that's more convenient for you. Should something come up between now and then, just let me know, but I'll send that information over to you now and get you introduced to the person who's going to be running that call. Thanks, Sandeep.
Wonderful. Thanks, Chet. Talk to you soon. All right.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot, Chet. What could that line, everybody watching, that line is gold. Golden.
Tie that meeting down, because you know what? That's where you go wrong. You can book 100 meetings if only 10 show up. What are we doing? Tie that meeting down. Get those blockers out ahead of time. That's how you increase your show rates. That's the part nobody talks about, the cold calls. The end of the cold call is just as important as the opener.
Definitely. Totally agree with you, Chet, on that. All right. So we've got a bunch of questions from the audience. So if you want to take that, it'll be really helpful. I can help you with the questions as well. I think Kevin's already answered one question there. So the second question is, can you deal with a gatekeeper who's only trying to get your details and blow you off? What are your thoughts on that?
The way that I deal with gatekeepers, number one, I don't really like. If your industry is all gatekeepers, then go get a solution like Connect and Sell, where you have a contact center agent that goes through gatekeepers for you. Like that, if that's the only opportunity you have to dial, so don't even call gatekeepers. Number one. Number two, if you have to call gatekeepers, you can't, you can try to charm them a little bit, right, and be very nice to them, get to know their name. You can try that, but the most success I've ever had is being very direct. Very direct, which sounds like this. Ring, ring. Hey, Chet, is Sandeep available? It's Kevin. So Chet says, wait. Okay, he's looking for Sandeep. It's Kevin. Down tone, very straight and to the point. And then they're gonna immediately go like this. Maybe. Can I ask what this is in regards to? Yeah, following up to an email conversation. Right? Mention that you have some sort of back history with this person, if you sent them an email or whatever it is. And that's been how I have dealt with gatekeepers in the most direct format. But in general, don't call gatekeepers. What's your take?
If you have to call a gatekeeper, like if you'll know if it's a gatekeeper, right? And we don't get a lot of that anymore. It depends on the industry, right? We still do. Some industries, like if you're calling into logistics, you're going to get gatekeepers. I love the happy day of the week and just shut up and let them respond. Like the second somebody picks up the phone, I love saying, hey, happy Wednesday, and just shutting up, because they'll typically chuckle or they'll be really creeped out. Either way, it's a pattern interrupt, and people don't have a reactionary defense response anymore. Their RDRs are dropped. And then it's hi, how can I help you? I need to speak to Kevin, please. That's simple, right? The gatekeeper is never going to advance your sale. They can only impede it. Like not to be demeaning to executive assistants and gatekeepers, but like they're really good at a lot of things. But one thing they're really good at is not passing off any phone calls to their boss. Like, have you ever seen Parks and Rec? And April Ludgate is Ron Swanson's like executive assistant, and she books all of his meetings for March 31st because she doesn't think that day exists. And then he has like 91 meetings on March 31st, and she's like, I didn't know that day actually existed. So like similar thing, they're really good at keeping people at bay. And so it's just very simple. Hey, yeah, thank you. I need to speak to Kevin, please. What's this in regarding? I sent Kevin some information and resources, and I'm following up. Okay, can you tell me a little bit more? And to the person that was asking, like, I think they asked, what do you do like if they're like just trying to take the information or something in that regard? I've always said like, hey, I'm happy to discuss anything with you and talk to anybody that Kevin recommends, but ultimately the reason for my call pertains to Kevin and the strategy that he's working day to day at his level. Like saying like, hey, I can't get anything out of talking to you. I can't get anything out of talking to Sandeep, like whoever. Oh, well, you might want to talk to so-and-so, like lower totem pole decision maker or champion, right? No, I appreciate that insight, and I'm willing to talk to anyone that Kevin recommends. But what I'm calling about regards the high level strategy that Kevin is dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and it would make most sense for me to talk to him. Is there a better time to catch Kevin? That's a simple question, because like I'm okay with charming them, but it's kind of cheesy a little bit. You just need to be like straight and direct, because I think they appreciate authority and respect. Like, I'm not here to waste your time. Hey, I only got 1 minute. I'm not here to waste your time, right? I need to talk to Kevin, and you do what you need to do to get there.
What's also really important is do not waste your time spelling out your email address. What is this regarding? And let me detail the value prop. Like, don't waste your time giving gatekeeper information. They're called gatekeepers for a reason. They're literally going to take it and put it into a shredder, right? Like, it's not worth any sales rep's time to give detailed information to a gatekeeper, like ever.
Yep.
100%. Makes sense, guys. So there are a couple of more questions. We can cover that and we can call it a day. But before that, we've got the audience who can vote for their favorite cold caller here. The next question that we have is, when we ask the prospect that do you have 15-20 minutes for Tuesday, isn't it going to put pressure on the prospect to say yes? Like at that time, they say okay, but they might not even show up.
Yep. That's why you use the tie down. You put the pressure on them. Don't mistake courtesy for consent, right? Yeah, you put pressure. Sales is pressure. Like, look, we're getting people to part with a resource that they never will get more of, which is time. And we're trying to help them see that they're going to be better off without it. Like, hey, you're going to give me time that you're never going to get back in your day, in your week, in your life, but I'm going to make you better for that. That's why we use that tie down. Fantastic. I got you all set for Tuesday at 9 a.m. Payal. Anything that would keep us from making that call. Yeah, I'm running to a doctor's appointment after that. Hey, you know what? I don't want to be an inconvenience to you in your day, especially up against something as important as a doctor's appointment. I want to make sure we have the right frame of mind, the right energy to dedicate towards that call, because this is really important, right? Like, you're not just setting a meeting, you're highlighting how important this is and the impact it can have on their business. Would it be more convenient to maybe have that call later in the week, like let's say Wednesday or Thursday at 9 a.m.? Yeah, I think that would be better. Fantastic. You're eliminating that meeting blocker. So now you're not only taking that pressure that you put on them, but you're showing them why that pressure is important. Like, this is work. This is serious, right? Like, you're parting with part of your life for money. You're exchanging your life for money. This is serious. Let's take it seriously. What are we doing if we're not here to make improvements in my product? You have to have that conviction though, too. Most sales reps don't. You have to have that conviction about what you're selling and the impact that it has in order to really follow through with that and be powerful and be okay saying no to getting the meeting on Tuesday, but having it fall on Thursday. Like, how many reps are trying to book meetings right now and won't push to June when Kevin's got something happening on Friday because they want to meet their quota? Think about your prospect's best interest, not your quota's best interest.
Fair enough.
I love that.
Another...
I'm a huge fan of that. Let me just add real quick here, Sandeep. I think Chet's line is absolutely golden. There's more than one way to do the tie down too, right? So I did a tie down method as well, which is just a slightly different flavor, which is listing out the actions I'm going to take and tying them all together and then connecting with them on LinkedIn. One of the reasons that people don't show up to meetings is because you were literally just a voice in their ear that they've never heard before for like a minute and a half. And then reps don't add them on LinkedIn right away. They don't go like their last 3 posts. They don't humanize themselves. And then they don't send that email introduction aside from the calendar invite. A calendar invite is just a calendar invite. You got to tie it down by having all these other points of contact with them so that they feel like they can easily communicate with you and so that they will treat you more like a human, right? Because at the end of the day, like the human aspect of sales is what drives, a lot of this. So.
Fair enough. So one last question for you guys before we wrap up. Any starter calling or email routine for a newbie SDR for their first quarter? Any thoughts, suggestions for someone who's starting out new in the SDR role?
First quarter SDR. First quarter SDR. Go get a bunch of no's. Go get told no a bunch. Go get hung up on. Go get the phone slammed on the face. Go fail. Fall on your face, right? Fall on your face because it's going to motivate you not to have that happen again. I actually, part of my onboarding program at Pavilion with SDRs is I actually have them listen to bad calls first because they say, oh my God, this rep's getting promoted to AE and this was a cold call they made 6 months ago and it was terrible. And they go, wow, no imposter syndrome. It totally humanizes the job. And it shows me that, you know what? Even the best people still fail. I fail. Kevin fails. We might not admit it as often as we should, but I can tell you both of us fail in our jobs at certain points. Nobody is perfect. So you gotta go, you gotta go and fail. Just go and fail and learn from that failure. Now, if you're 6 months in, you're in second quarter and you're still failing, then we have a different conversation, but just go do a bunch of stuff. Go get a bunch of no's, go get told no, go get the phone slammed on you, go get told no, mess up your value prop, mess up your pitch, don't tie down meetings, go fail a bunch, and then go get feedback from the people that are important, meaning your manager, your peers, your cohorts, other people that you respect, people in your community. Get better at your job. It's that simple.
Fair enough. Fair thoughts. So guys, before we announce the winner for today's cold call battle, what we've also done at Outplay is we have given back something to the community of SDRs and other cold callers out there. We run this series called a Call of Fame, to which you can subscribe to. And then every Wednesday, you'll get a cold call from different cold call. It's a repository of cold call, basically like Spotify for cold calls, where you can listen to cold calls from different salespeople out there, the real good ones you can listen to, and then probably enhance your cold calling skills as well. So with that said, please go and subscribe to the Call of Fame that we run, and that's going to be useful for you as well. So with that said, today's winner, it was a close contest. Yeah, it was really heating up and it was really close to decide a winner there. But Kevin kind of tipped it in his favor in the end. And yeah, you win this, man.
No, it was a landslide. Kevin took the cake. I was looking at the chat. Okay. Failure. I can admit failure and I'm okay with that because I have some stuff to learn.
Look, I don't think I was the winner. I think Chet was the winner. Why don't we share the title, Chet? Let's be co-winners.
How about we're all winners? Sandeep's a winner. I'm a winner. You're a winner. Everybody who attended today is a winner. This is your professional development.
Definitely.
This is you committing to getting better.
Learning.
Everybody's a winner.
It's all learning. I completely understand. All of us are a winner whenever we learn every day. All right. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. It was a pleasure having you with us. And until we meet next in a cold call battle episode 3, thank you very much for all the audience as well. See you guys.
Cheers.
See ya.